2016 has been a really good year for the Desert Vision. We've had the opportunity to see so many distinguished visitors come through the area of operations.
Like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Who got in the gym and was working out with our men and women in uniform. We've also seen all our troops go through readiness training exercises to make sure they're mission capable. And we've also watched the fostering of the relationships between all of our partner nations here in the AOR.
Not to mention all of the transfer of authority ceremonies that have happened. There have been a lot of commands coming and going. Our CENT has definitely undergone several changes this past year. And actually, it's not the only thing that's undergone several changes. So is the Desert Vision. Let's take a look back and see some of those changes.
Welcome to this edition of Desert Vision. I'm Sergeant Rick Bush.
And I'm Staff Sergeant Jaime Hernandez.
And I'm Specialist Brittany Lobos.
I'm Sergeant Jessica Forrester.
And I'm Specialist Angie Lorden.
I'm Army Sergeant Angie Lorden, and I was there for all the action.
I'm Army Sergeant Jessica Forrester.
And I'm Army Sergeant Angela Lorden.
Over the last year, we've seen many stories from around the waters of Kuwait. Here's a look back at just a few.
U.S. Army Central soldiers conducted a personnel recovery exercise with the United States Navy's Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron 26. The Joint at-Sea Search and Rescue exercise simulated a distress call from a UH-60 Black Hawk helicopter that went down with 4 crew members on board.
Personnel recovery is extremely important in any event where you do happen to come into an isolated person situation. So actually knowing the capabilities of the equipment that we're supposed to use in such situations and getting some comfort level with that, in addition to all the echelons above us that need to coordinate with this to make this exercise effective, it's very comforting.
Part of the exercise included a life raft getting dropped out to the survivors so they could deploy it and climb inside. At that time, an ammunition casualty equipment or ACE report is conducted while using a C-cell radio to report that a personnel recovery mission is underway.
There's incidents all around where isolated persons, it actually happens, and it's not something you want to wait and be reactive on. So having a plan in place and knowing the operational capability and where improvements can be made is huge for their overall effectiveness and comfort level for the command, knowing that they do have personnel recovery under control.
This search and rescue exercise is another way U.S. Army Central maintains a strong, capable, and ready force to provide strategic depth throughout the region. Reporting from the Northern Arabian Gulf, I'm Army Sergeant Rick Bush.
The crew of the logistics support vessel, Major General Charles P. Gross, took to the open water recently to hone their gunnery skills at waterborne targets. Third mate of the vessel, Chief Warrant Officer 2, Kevin Toomey, says that experiences like this are essential for the crew.
Just getting the crew familiar with all our crew served weapons and our battle drills in case we do encounter any enemy forces out on the water, to make sure that everybody's comfortable with their weapons, they know how to use them, and the weapons function properly. So we have 4 50 cals, 2 Mark 19s, and then 4 stations for M249s.
PFC Robin Davis, a culinary specialist on board, feels that training of this type is not only beneficial, but also fun.
It was pretty interesting. That's my first time firing it. Had a little difficulty. My thumbs wouldn't reach the trigger, but it was fun. I wish we could have shot the weapon a little bit more, but other than that, it was good. So this is my second time in a year that I've been able to shoot the machine guns. First time I shot the 50 cal, and this is, like I said, my first time shooting the Mark 19.
Doing this range today actually helps these soldiers fire the weapons that they probably won't get a chance to fire within a regular line unit. Everybody has to be cross-trained on each weapon, from the Limas, which are the engineers, the mechanics on the vessels, all the way down to the cooks on the vessel, because there's only 31 of us out here, and each one of us have to know how to have that other person's back if the situation calls for it. This is one of the best jobs in the Army. A lot of people don't know about it, but we are a unique skill set. I love it.
From the deck of the Major General Charles P. Gross, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Lloyd Harger.
The 1st of the 111th Aviation Regiment teamed up with crew members of the USS Ponce to conduct deck landing qualifications on August 15th. The National Guard units, currently deployed to Camp Buren, Kuwait, trained to land their CH-47 Chinooks on a Navy vessel while underway. Army Captain Andrew Nestor, a pilot with the 1st of 111th, explains why this training is important for U.S. ARCENT.
Deck landing qualifications allow us to support Army operations that occur in the Arabian Gulf. So when other Army aircraft are operating off of Navy vessels, then we can go out there and resupply them with fuel, ammo, and food. Well, we're only the second National Guard unit to be able to conduct deck landing qualifications, and this allows us to, it shows our proficiency in our tasks as an aviation unit, and the fact that we're able to do this shows our proficiency and that we're one of the highest caliber units in the nation, and we're able to expand our capabilities not only with our unit but also with ARCENT.
This Joint Forces mission also benefits the Navy. Chief Petty Officer Corey Schwiezo explained how working together makes a difference.
One of the good things about doing this type of aircraft on this type of platform is really benefits both the Army and the Navy. It gives us a little practice to deal with aircraft that we don't really use quite often, but it also expands your guys' mission and operations. So instead of being landlocked, you guys can get troops out to here, use it as a landing platform to stage and to expand your guys' missions and operations. It shows what the Army is capable of doing, and by coming out here, really kind of shows the force and flexibility that the Army has. A lot of times people have the stereotype that the Army is just landlocked operations. By working with the Navy, working with another branch, it actually shows the mission readiness of what you guys can do.
Reporting from the Arabian Gulf, I'm Army Sergeant Jessica Forrester.
I'm Craig Morgan, and you're watching Desert Vision.
Well, listen, folks, you are watching the Desert Vision. The team here has been good enough to give me a few minutes to say hello and thanks for what you do. I'm proud of you, and best of luck in your tour here. And if CENTCOM can do better for you, you let me know.
Hi y'all, this is Miss America 2016, Betty Cantrell. Thank you so much for your service to our country. I am from Macon, Georgia, and I'm proud to be an American. You're watching Desert Vision.
Hey everyone, I'm Savvy Shields, Miss America 2017, and you're watching Desert Vision.
Hi, I'm Secretary of the Army Eric Fanning, and you're watching Desert Vision.
Nothing boosts morale quite like a live performance. This year, we had several special guests perform right on this very stage. Let's take a look back.
The USO strengthens America's service members by keeping them connected to their family, home, and country throughout their service to the nation. This year, the USO celebrates its 75th anniversary with an entertainment tour including Miss America, UFC fighters, and a country music icon.
It's so exciting to be able to come all the way across the world to be able to say thank you to our troops. They do so much for us, and I feel like we can't really appreciate it until we see where y'all are and what you're doing, and it truly is amazing, and we are so thankful for your service.
Anthony Showtime Pettis has a fight scheduled in April, and he is currently in the middle of his training camp, but he couldn't turn down the opportunity to spend time with deployed servicemen and women.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, to know that these guys are out here giving up their time for us to live the life we live back home, it's huge. I mean, for me to come out and spend a day is nothing compared to what you guys are doing. So people think we're fighters, but I think you guys are the real fighters, fighting for our freedom to do what we love to do.
Country music superstar Craig Morgan spent 9.5 years on active duty with the United States Army. During the show, he played his hit singles, That's What I Love About Sunday, International Harvester, and performed a cover of Gavin DeGraw's Soldier. More importantly, he talked with what performing for service members means to him.
For me to come over and entertain the men and women that are serving, it's very humbling. And it becomes emotional for me. Again, I think that's because I have served, and it was a big part of my life and still is. To be a part of the 75th is unbelievable. It's amazing. The USO is an organization that brings the entertainment to the front lines, and it has been for years, for 75 years. So it's important that we continue that. As long as there's people serving, we're going to be here.
A film crew traveled with the tour and plans to release a USO documentary that will air on PBS in the fall. Reporting from Camp Arif John, Kuwait,
Happy anniversary, USO.
I'm Army Sergeant Rick Bush.
As the lights dim and the music starts, the black bayonet soldiers of 4th Battalion, 3rd Air Defense Artillery get pumped for their lip sync battle and talent show. The competition showcased the troops' talents and gave them an opportunity to step out of uniform and have some fun.
Yes, I was a judge, so I had the guys a chance to sit up front and really figure out who was better than the other one. It was a really hard decision to make as well. Overall, I was actually surprised. I didn't realize that we had so much talent within our battalion.
All ranks and positions got involved and enjoyed the opportunity to strengthen their morale and bond as a unit.
It's so incredibly important to keep an eye on the resiliency of soldiers. And it's events like this that let them blow off steam, have some fun, have a good time, come together, build morale, build that esprit, and it shows them that they have the support of a family behind them.
After all was said and done, the troops are already looking forward to the next competition towards the end of their deployment. Reporting for U.S. Arcent Public Affairs, I'm Specialist Brittany Lobos.
A military engagement with the Kuwaiti National Guard Band. It was great. We had a good time together. You know, it's a universal language. We were able to communicate and collaborate musically and find some common ground together today. It was fantastic, a great opportunity to join together, and it was a physical and an oral demonstration of the fact that music unites us. You know, we're all speaking the same language in that moment, and that language is music. This is laying the groundwork. There are many different relationships in the military with other host nations and partners, and this was just one engagement in a furtherance of that relationship between the U.S. Army and Kuwaitis. It was great to see that on stage today in a very real and musical way. We're glad to be here. This was a great experience for us and for the United States, and just being a part of a partnership and a great relationship with the Kuwaiti National Guard Band. Tremendous opportunity.
The USO gave soldiers a taste of home on Wednesday at the Zone 6 stage. Country music icon Trace Adkins visited troops at Camp Arif John and performed some of his hits. Specialist Brendan Spicer of Bandit Troop, 1st Squadron, 3rd Cavalry Regiment, calls himself a longtime fan.
He's one of my favorite country singers. I've been listening to him since I was young. One of my favorite songs was Till the Last Shot's Fired, and having someone like him who helps support the troops come out here, you know, play music and boost everyone's morale. It's pretty nice.
Adkins is no stranger to Camp Arif John, having performed here several times in the past. The artist feels it is a great way for him to give back to the men and women who serve our country.
For me personally, it's just an opportunity to say thank you, and that I support what you guys are doing. It's just as simple as that. I hope just for a minute that, you know, folks can just smile and